What is up? My name is Garrett at Yogur on Twitter, YOOGRRTT. Thank you so much for tuning into the Now Notation YouTube channel. Welcome back to another album review. This edition is going to be dedicated to talking about the Keith Ape Born Again EP. Keith Ape is someone who has a lot of Spotify plays, monthly Spotify plays for someone who I didn't think was that poppin'. He's on the 88 Rising label. I haven't really seen him, though, be pushed on that label as much as you'd think. He's definitely someone who I enjoy their music. That song, Achoo, is one of note. The one with Ski Mask the Slump God, that video is pretty fire as well. And yeah, I just think every time I hear him, he has such a very distinct Killy-like sound, where if Killy's on a beat, it just sounds like he's just another part of the sound, like a part of the beat. Like, Killy has a very particular voice, and I think Keith Ape does a very similar thing with his voice, where he's just mainly portraying a vibe with words, and I think the vibe very much is intense but comes across pretty well on this short but great album. It's one of those ones where I put it on every once in a while, still to this day, and it still slaps and still hits the same, but I don't know how much is actually being said on here, like as far as like real stuff. I think it may be just be going over my head, because I think Keith Ape is someone who's on like a different wavelength than most of us. I think he's just very different, and someone who I think if he got the chance to work with a lot of different people, he would have a lot of inspirations to give to others, because the way he attacks certain beats, you're just like, Jesus Christ, man, this guy is off the chain. Getting into the track list, track number 1 is My Wrist Clearer Than Water. Track number 2 is Ninja Turtle featuring Wi-Fi's Funeral. Track number 3 is Ulum. Track number 4 is Zen. Track number 5 is The Ice Ape featuring Chief Keef. Track number 6 is Ape Sounds. Track number 7 is The Opium War featuring Young Bands. Track number 8 is Symphony number 1993, The Escape from Planet of the Apes. And that last title should give you all you need to know about Mr. Keith Ape and how different and unique and just creative I think he is with the way that he makes his music. I think he relies a lot on these like high-pitched influxes to his voice, as well as just really funny ass ad libs, and they all just kind of meshes together as this like in your face sound. But it definitely complements everything across the board. Just to kind of like give you an insight to what I mean, like there's parts on the Ice Ape, and this is by far one of the bangers of the year for me. I still put this on. I'll put this on at parties. Like if someone's like, yo bro, like what should I play, I'll play the Ice Ape, just because it's so fucking funny to me that like no one knows what the hell is going on, because it's just like, ooh yeah, boom, ah. Like it just sounds like fucking sounds, man, and it's so good because I can just vibe with it. And I think when you try to dissect it like analytically and like try to get into the analysis of his music, is maybe where someone who's much smarter than me would be able to dissect and find problems and like really have something negative to say. And I've been trying to review this album for a minute. I didn't try to record it, but I've just been thinking about what I wanted to say, and I think this guy is just a really fun rapper. He's just really fun. He makes the music that he wants to make. He has a very distinct sound, and I think that there's just so much to offer. Yet I didn't feel like this was like a project that was so like high quality and over my head that I was like, whoa, this is like, whew. Like that's how I felt about like All American Trash, like the first Brockhampton mixtape, where it was like, this isn't really a full-fledged like concept. It's more of just an idea. And maybe that's where this feels. I think I'm also looking at that through the lens of Saturation 1, where that's like they really honed in on that sound and really kind of put it in a place to where I could see what they were doing. I could see a more cohesive like messaging being put across, and I don't think that this has any clear messaging. I think it's just a lot of stuff that is very fire and very hot and just bangs, but it's it's again just stuff. So when you're trying to like listen to it on like I said, someone much smarter than me would just be able to gas this thing, I think, and just find hella holes and just be like, this is not music. But to me, this is fire ass music. I just don't think that there's too much you can say about this particular project. One, because it's so short, and two, because I don't think it has that much to say when you walk away from it. I don't think you're like, oh man, this guy really moved me. I think he maybe made you take your shirt off and made you dance, and that's fire as fuck, because that has a place in this world. But there is something to be said about like the depth of this. The feature from Wi-Fi's Funeral is really fire. I think those two should definitely collab more. And Young Bands is somebody who I am a fan of. Every time I hear him, Bands Tape Volume 5 or whatever that was cool. I just want to see more from him, but there's something very particular about him and Keith Ape on a song together that just complements like just everything about it, and I would definitely listen to a collab album between them two as well. But yeah, the standout track, you can't tough Keith Ape. She thinks that I'm an astronaut cause what's up on my shirt, like that. Chief Keef starts his line with that, and I'm just like, dude, that is so hard. Like, fuck you, like that is. Damn it, that's so good. And that's like one of my favorite lines of the year. This thing will definitely be mentioned at the end of the year awards for this very channel. What is your favorite track? What is your favorite part about this album? Did you enjoy it? Let me know in the comment section below. My name is Garrett Yoger on Twitter, YOOGRRTT. Thank you so much for tuning into this album review. We'll have more dropping very soon. Take care of yourselves, and that is all, folks. If I could stop recording.